just going to do a little bit of a service of sorts. I've been having a bit of a situation recently because I ride this thing so much that there's a bit of slippage that's beginning to happen upon the cassette over here. When I've got it up on at least gears number 3 and number 4, that's when some slippage is happening with the chain. What I'm just going to show you is removing this cassette, the particular sprocket that I think is at fault, just how to remove that. And I've purchased another new chain and a new sprocket, I think it was the number 4 sprocket there. I think it's got 16 teeth, and we're going to replace that and put it back on and see if that fixes the slippage problem. If it doesn't, then what we're going to be doing is pretty much just ordering a whole new cassette here and just try that. But for today, putting on a new chain and replacing one of the sprockets up here. First things first, we want to remove the chain. What you need to do is to actually lock it off. Okay, that's over here. Find where the quick link is, and I can see it, it's already up on this side. I like to bring it around. Here we go. Release it. There we go. Next, we want to remove this rear tire. Now, all these Merida bikes have this magnetic little Allen key built in. And this is what we use to remove the rear wheel and the front wheel. It's very, very handy to have. So release the wheel, loosen the rear axle. We're replacing the chain as well, so take the derailleur out, and there we go. Now, if you've never removed the cassette from the rear wheel of a mountain bike before, there are a couple of tools that you do need. Now, I've got a pretty basic bike repair kit, but it's got everything I need in here. And a couple of the things that it will have and that you will need is, here's one of these cheap, crappy looking chain things. Okay, this is for this job that I'm about to do. You need one of these little removal tools, and you need like a socket set wrench. Okay, so what we do, so we put this on like this. Now, I think there's all sorts of other better tools, but this is all I use, and in all honesty, it does the job just fine. This goes inside. As you can see, it's got various teeth. Now, we're going to loosen it. There we go. And you see the whole thing just lifts off. As easy as that. Here's that locking ring. Okay, I like to just put things down in the order that they come in. And there's a little spacer. This is the one that was the problem one for me. Goes like that. There's another little wire spacer. It's right here. Okay, it's paper thin, but it's metal. I'll put it here. All right, so you see here it tells you it's a Shimano M7100 12 speed. So this is a 12 speed cassette. Taking off the first 5 gears, I've got the last remaining 7 gears here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And this looks like it's one entire unit. But while I'm here, I'm just going to get it cleaned out, get it lubed up. You can see there's this ugly piece of grass in there. There we go. And I'll go over to the compressor and give it a good blowout too. So I've got no problems at all with any of these larger sprockets here. The gears change on here flawlessly. You know, I generally ride mostly when I'm riding uphill, trying to get a bit of speed. It's usually my 3rd, 4th and 5th gear. Specifically the 4th sprocket here. This is one that's causing me grief. Okay, every single time. The chain goes on and it slips off. So this is the new chain. Okay, it's a Shimano chain for 12 speed, and AliExpress, this costed me, including delivery, basically $49, 50 bucks. And it actually just feels, I can just tell the feel of it is just so nice. This is the sprocket that I got from AliExpress, and this costed me $16 or $17. This is the comparison. And I'll try to show this in a little bit better light if I can. Don't know, let's go out here a little bit more in the sunlight. One thing with these sprockets is, okay, they always fit in only one way. It's got a lot of these little teeth, and one of the teeth particularly is larger. Okay, don't know if you can see that. See that? Same thing here. All right, so we marry this over. I can see straight away the teeth. Yeah, my old one, it's so much been worn down. And I probably can't do it justice in kind of showing you, but I can distinctly see it's either got damage points or it's just worn down. Compared to the other one, it's just not as much meat on the tooth. Let's see and hope that this fixes my problem. So whenever you're dealing with metal components on your bikes, especially where there's gears and nuts and stuff like that, always lube it up. With this, I'm going to give it a coat of silicone spray. This is a dry lubricant. That's the one I prefer to use. So being dry, it dries up nicely and puts a nice coating on there. And this particular locking nut, I'll put a little bit more, I'll put some grease on this. With everything lubed up nicely, we're going to turn things back as they should go. First of all, don't forget the paper thin spacer. Here we go. Then you get your actual cassette. There we go. It finds its way on. Nice. You do have to watch which direction you put these on. Follow the general slant of all the other teeth upon the other sprockets here. You see they're kind of facing like a wave. This is the wrong way because it kind of goes that way. This is the right way. There we go. Next there is a spacer. Then comes the one that I purchased, the replacement one. There we go. We whack on a spacer. We whack on gear number 3. This has a bit of an indentation here from the factory. There we go. Gear number 2 is a particular design as well, only goes on one way. So I've just got to find the right position for it to sit in. There we go. That's nice. And gear number 1, this only goes in, once again, only in one direction. Beautiful. And then I get my locking nuts, which is right here. So let's tighten this up, and it's already got an automatic locking mechanism built into place. So don't have to stress too much. Now it's got on here, you know, how many Newton meters, and I guess if you want to get all pedantic about it, it says you need 40 Newton meters. You can get a torque wrench and do it if you like. Personally, I don't really bother. Okay, righto, that's it. Something I'll point out to you about this new chain that I've bought. It's a 12-speed chain, and I'm comparing it against my older one. This is my older one, and notice that the new one is longer than the old one. So I want to marry it up and make sure my new one has as many links as the older one. What I'm going to be doing is actually removing a link over here, this one over here, getting rid of that section, and so it marries up to the same amount. And I'll just show you how to do that quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Number 9 is the link that I'm going to be removing. So to do that, in your toolkit, if you've got a bike repair kit, you're going to have something that looks like this. This is just a cheap pin pusher, or a chain breaker as they call it. Tighten the locking nut, something like that. That's the best that I can get it to be seated in. And you'll hear a snap. There we go, it's popped through. Keep going all the way through till it pushes that chain rivet out. There we go. Let's get this back upon this bad boy. And everything is aligning just nicely, a nice tightness, and this just pops back. How good is that? That's gold. There we go. On this particular derailleur, there is a little metal guide. You can see right there. Don't go under, because you'll stuff up your gearing system. You've got to go through it like that. So it drops on down and goes above that guide, as you can see. And then it drops in down here, like that. Excellent. All right, so when you get your quick links, I'll put it on there so the arrow faces that way. Let's bring it together. There we go. I always bring it up onto the high side here. And normally, let's give it a good push, and you'll notice the quick link has locked in perfectly. Make sure you lock off this locking mechanism here, right there. This actually sounds really nice, just compared to my other chain. This is just a really nice chain. It's just really nicely lubed. So I'm going to give this a bit of a test run and see how it works upon especially gear number 4 up here. See if it's made a difference. Nice, it's changing through nicely. Excellent. Let's give it a run. Okay, so this is just going to be the test of whether that sprocket and the new chain makes a difference with gear number 4. It may not. This will be the first run, and we'll see how it goes. Okay, I'm on my very first gear. This is for when you're riding downhills, etc. That's fine. Put it to gear number 2. Yeah. So it's pretty hard riding in gear number 2, but all right, gear number 3. That's fine. Gear number 4, this is it. This is my main riding gear. It's not slipping. It's pretty good. Man, I got weeds. Okay. Gear number 4 feels pretty darn good. Change it to gear number 5. Back to gear number 4. Man, I've got to give this yard a mow. That's embarrassing, mate. All right. Gear number 4 is great. Hey, I think I've fixed the problem. It feels good. I'm pressing down hard. And yeah, no worries. It's worked for me. So new chain and a sprocket. Total cost was $67. Do it yourself, or you can spend $300 and take it to your local bike shop. The choice is yours. Thanks for watching.